Hello everybody, it's me Q, and I'm saying hello to you. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Fusion. Ever since the inception of Pokemon, it's been a highly requested feature, right? So, turns out there's actually some Pokemon that fuse in the series. After all, who doesn't want to fuse their Charizard with a Mewtwo? That sounds cool, but there's probably some terrible fan art out there that'll change your mind. So, starting us off, we've actually got Venusaur, who isn't a Pokemon that you can use in the game, sadly. But it's in the anime, and I'm pretty sure it's in a dream, but they do the fusion dance and everything from Dragon Ball. It's pretty cool, even though if it does look a bit goofy. But let's move on to the games, shall we? So, first is Gen 5, Black and White 2. We've got Kyurem Black and Kyurem White. So depending on your game, you got a DNA splicer that would let you fuse Kyurem with either Zekrom or Reshiram, depending on which one you got because of your version. It was pretty cool, and Kyurem Black and White is a pretty strong Pokemon. It's up there with like the crown forms of Zacian and Zamazenta in base stat totals. It's either 720 or 680. I probably will add a thing here in editing that tells you, because I can't remember for the life of me. But anyway, let's move on to Gen 6. We got Zygarde. Zygarde has 3 forms depending on how much Zygarde cells you pump into its cube. The 10% form is a dog, the 50% form is like a serpent, and the 100% form is like an Optimus Prime thing. It looks like a Power Ranger Megazord, and it's pretty damn strong. Highest base stat totals of most of the Pokemon come from these Pokemon, the fusion Pokemon, because after all, you're merging some pretty strong Pokemon, you're going to get an even stronger Pokemon, right? Anyway, let's move on to Gen 7 with Necrozma, Dawnwings, and Duskmane. Now, I'm pretty sure these are only in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Don't quote me on that. I only ever played the Ultra games. But they're basically the same thing as Kyurem, right? You use the 3rd legendary to merge it with the 2 box art legendaries. You get the N Solarizer or the N Lunarizer, depending on your version. And you can use that to either suck up Solgaleo or Lunala into Necrozma. But why would you do that when you could just get Ultra Necrozma, but they look cool, I guess, but that's about all there is. And now, Gen 8, we've got Calyrex and his steeds. So in the Crown Tundra DLC, you got to pick between 2 horses for the main legendary of the DLC. So Calyrex is the crown fella that the entire DLC is based around, but you could actually pick which horse he had from the legend. Now, the canonicity of this is really weird because they're 2 completely separate horses, and there's legends that support both in the games, even though only one is technically true, and that's the one that you pick. So you either get Spectrier or Glastria. I said like the French version of Spectrier, then it's Spectrier, what the hell? Anyway, that aside, if you fuse these, you get Calyrex Shadow Rider form and Calyrex Ice Rider form. And they both have their own signature move. I'm pretty sure the Shadow one is Astral Barrage, and the Ice one is Glacial Lance, or something like that. They're pretty cool, they have cool animations and everything. And they're really strong as well, like all the others on this list. They've got the high base stat total. And they're actually one of the few that have 2 abilities, one from the horse and one from Calyrex. Even though Calyrex is kind of useless, Unnerve isn't that good of an ability. The horses ones are good. It's like Grimnay and something else. Grimnay is just Moxie for special attack. Yeah, that's all for Gen 8. They had a good run with proper fusion Pokemon. They started since Gen 5, so Gen 5, 6. 6 technically wasn't a proper fusion, but I kind of count it. So 5, 6, 7, and 8 all got proper fusion Pokemon. Gen 9's fusion Pokemon isn't technically a fusion Pokemon, but I like to count it as well. It's actually Dongiri, the amalgamation of the names of Tatsugiri and Dondozo. So the entire point of these Pokemon is that you put one on the field with another in a double battle. And in that double battle, if Tatsugiri is the ability Commander, it'll jump inside the Dondozo's mouth, and the Dondozo will get really boosted stats. And its signature move Order Up, depending on what Tatsugiri is inside its mouth, it'll actually get more stats of a certain amount. So I think it's speed, defense, and attack that it can boost, depending on the forms of Tatsugiri in its mouth. And it's pretty cool, and the strat this is named after is Dongiri. That's why I called it Dongiri at the start. But it's kind of the most boring, especially because the rest on this list are legendary Pokemon. I like to count these as pseudo legendaries, you know, because they're pretty cool. They have pretty strong gimmicks, but they're not quite strong enough to be up there. They are quite meta in competitive though. At least they were at the beginning. I don't know if people have figured out strats about that by now, but I don't play competitive that much. Alright, well, that wraps up today's video then. I appreciate those people who made it this far. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, it will help me out a lot. Thank you if you already have. And with all that said, I'm Q, and now I'm saying goodbye to you. Thank you for all of your support. I really appreciate it.